Hello everyone, this is part 13 of What If Naruto Was the Child of the Moon in Percy Jackson, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Naruto was locked in battle all by himself against one fierce sea monster. He was holding his own, attacking from afar and going in to place some paper bombs. Just then, a huge explosion came from the direction of his friends. A look of horror washed over his face. He turned back momentarily to see that the ship he boarded earlier was no more. All that was left was debris, the scrap metal from the broken ship. None of his friends were there. The monster didn't wait for him to recover. It slammed its fist on the water's surface. Most of the clone's battle reflexes kicked in just in time for him to jump away from the attack. Those that were unlucky got dispelled. Shut up, you overgrown piece of shit. Naruto pointed a finger to the huge beast. If it weren't for you, I could have helped them. The monster roared at him in reply. You don't scare me, you movie reject. The blonde yelled back. Naruto charged. All of him did, including the clones. The monster tried to grab at the different clones running towards it. The nimble ones were able to jump to avoid it and continued on his way. The unfortunate ones got crushed on the monster's grip. It used its tentacles to knock away most of Blonde's charging. With kunai in hand, the clones slashed and hacked every tentacle that came. The monster got lucky with some of the clones. On each one of their right hands, blue orbs of energy began forming and continued growing. All the clones leaped on the monster and slammed the orb into its abdomen. Odama Rasengan. All of them shouted. The monster fell on its back, sinking into the ocean. Naruto was panting after that. He fell to a knee, catching his breath. Still as pathetic as ever, a familiar cold voice spoke behind him. That voice, Naruto said as he recognized who it was. Shakily, the blonde rose to his feet and slowly turned around. Standing across from him was his former teammate, Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke, what are you doing here in this world? Naruto asked. That's none of your business, Naruto, Sasuke answered. I have come for your friends. What do you need them for? I do not have to answer that question. All you need to know is that a man named Luke is asking for them. Luke, Naruto growled. Where is he? Same old Naruto. Where are they? Sasuke demanded as he drew his sword. They're gone. Look at the wreckage. Naruto pointed to the floating debris from their once seaworthy World War II ship. Then, I have no need to stay here anymore. Sasuke turned around to leave. Sasuke, wait. Naruto called out. You've got to go back to the village. Why? So I could play ninja with you there once again. Orochimaru only wants to make your body his. I told you, Naruto, you wouldn't understand why I will risk even that so I could obtain power. You had no parents from the beginning. Naruto just growled. Sasuke smirked. You want to bring me home to the leaf, yet you yourself are here far away from it. You don't know the circumstances. Naruto said. But I will bring you back to the village. I don't have to fight you right now. I will find your friends. You won't get to my friends. I will stop you here and now. So be it. Just prove to be a challenge this time. Sasuke turned to face the blonde. The two shinobi stood a few feet from each other, neither of them backing down. A few seconds later, the two began to weave their hand signs. They both stopped at the hand sign of Tiger. Katon, Gokakyu no Jutsu. Two orbs of fire were produced from the mouths of the two shinobi. The two balls of fire collided with each other with equal power. Sasuke smirked. So, you know fire jutsu no? A lot has changed since then. Naruto answered. You're not the only one who has changed. Sasuke said, his eyes glowing red from his visual prowess. Sasuke's blade crackled with lightning. Naruto countered by coating his own blade with wind chakra. The two shinobi disappeared from their former spots. They appeared in front of each other, their blades clashing with each other. Neither of them was giving the edge. Naruto twisted to avoid the sword and sent a kick aimed at his opponent's head. Sasuke raised his arm to block the attack, but the force made him skid a few inches over the water's surface. Sasuke summoned different shuriken from the summoning seals on his arms. Futon, Daitopper. Naruto blew away all the weapons that Sasuke was throwing at him. Suddenly, the monster from earlier rose from the water. What? Naruto shouted in shock. That thing is still here. Naruto was standing at the exact spot where the monster's hand rose from the water. The monster felt the foreign body on its palm and squeezed tight. The blonde was caught off guard and wasn't able to get away. Oh shit. Naruto yelled in pain. You may have changed, Naruto, but you're still as pathetic as ever. Sasuke huffed. But you monster are not going to end things with him. Sasuke thought. Chidori Nagashi. Sasuke screamed. A stream of lightning came from the Uchiha and made its way to the huge monster. It squeezed at the monster, constricting its movements and made it loosen its grip on the blonde. Sasuke? Naruto asked, but it fell on deaf ears. Okay, he continued when Sasuke didn't answer. Saru, Hitsuji, Kuchihyose no Justu. The monster's hand suddenly exploded, spraying blood everywhere. The monster screamed in pain. Standing over the monster now was a giant rusty red-colored frog suddenly appeared. Around his eyes and on his lips and chest are brighter red markings. Over on his left eye was a scar that slashed across. He wore a large blue happy vest that has the kanji chia, ebi, on the back portion. Around his hip was a massive dosu blade. In between his lip was a large kisaru pipe. It was Gamabunta, the Toad Chief. Wah, the Toad said in a grumpy tone. Where am I? Oyabun. Naruto greeted. Gaki. Gamabunta said. Why are we in salt water? I'm going to itch later. Sorry boss. I was about to be crushed. Naruto apologized. By what? Naruto pointed downward to the monster. The water started bubbling. Heads up. Naruto warned. The Toad boss leapt away just in time. In his former spot, the Kraken emerged from the water for an attempted surprise attack. Gar. What is that ugly thing? Gamabunta asked. It's called the Kraken, one of the monsters in this world. Naruto answered. So, could you help me defeat that thing? Hell no. The Toad boss refused. What do you mean, hell no? The blonde asked. You aren't my subordinate yet. You promised me to have that drink when we fought Shukaku. This isn't the time for that. That thing will get you too if you don't help. I can dispel the jutsu and return home all by myself. Gamabunta said to the dismay of the blonde. Speaking of home, where have you been all this time? Naruto was about to answer, but the Kraken didn't give them the luxury of time to speak. It stumbled forward and tried to wrap the giant toad with all its tentacles. Gamabunta, the expert swordsman he is, sliced through the tentacles and slashed and stabbed through the main body. The chief toad opened his eyes. He was surprised with what he seen. What? It took no damage. Regular weapons don't work on them. Naruto explained. Why didn't you tell me? Gamabunta berated the boy. All this fighting didn't give me time to explain, Naruto answered. I see your point. Gamabunta said. What about if we use physical attacks like the last time? Boss. That's a great idea. It's worth a shot. Henge. The two partners shouted. A giant puff of smoke enveloped them. A huge claw with orange fur came forward from within the smoke cloud and raked its claws on the snake's body. The smoke cleared, revealing Naruto and Gamabunta's transformation. They took the form of a giant orange-colored kitsune. They had transformed into the blonde's tenant hiding in his seal. The giant fox roared in defiance at their opponent. The fox bounded over to the giant monster. It rammed itself on the monster, then it raked its claws on it. The Kraken tried to wrap its tentacles on the massive kitsune, but the latter bit and scratched, cutting off all of their opponent's appendages. The duo never let up their attack and continued mangling the Kraken until its pieces were scattered all over the ocean. With another massive puff of smoke, the transformation jutsu was undone, revealing the Toad boss, Gamabunta, and our favorite blonde shinobi, Naruto, standing atop the former's head. Bunta spit out a tentacle stuck in his mouth, then declared, well, that's that. Thanks for the help, boss. Naruto thanked the giant toad. Don't go off celebrating the boy. You still owe me that drink. But boss, I'm still underage. Nonsense. Their conversation was cut short when Sasuke activated his own summoning. Kuchihyose no Justu. A huge purple snake with black rings running down intervals on his body appeared in a giant puff of smoke. He had massive fangs, green eyes and four horn-like protrusions on his head. It was Manda, Orochimaru's favorite summoning. Fuck. Sasuke didn't leave yet. Naruto muttered in this world's language. Long time no see, Bunta. Manda greeted his fellow summoning as he went on to squeeze the life out of the giant toad. Oyabun. Naruto screamed in worry. Don't worry about me, boy. Take care of Sasuke, so we can get this over with. Gamabunta said. Right. Naruto answered as he leaped towards Sasuke's spot on Manda's head. The two exchanged blows. Naruto was getting exhausted from all the jutsu he had been firing and all the fighting he had been doing. Sasuke tried to swipe at the blonde with his sword, but Naruto jumped back to avoid it. In turn, the blonde threw several kunai at his opponent. Sasuke's eyes glowed with his visual prowess. Without even flinching, he deflected each and every one of the kunai with his sword. Several clones appeared around Sasuke. He kicked one in the gut, making it fly back to another. He sliced another who tried to sneak behind him. Naruto engaged his power-hungry friend, going about it kunai against sword. He parried all of Sasuke's slashes and stabs, and so did the latter with Naruto's attacks. All around them Bunta was rolling around trying to get Manda off of himself. He struggled around, spraying bursts of air that were dodged by his limber opponent. Unhand me, you snake, the toad boss ordered. Why would I listen to you? Manda said. Fight like a man, Bunta ordered, and risk losing this battle. No, the snake retorted. He started to squeeze tighter. The toad boss began throwing curses at the snake, most of which Naruto hasn't heard before. Gaki. He called for help. Naruto turned around to look at his boss. Oyabun. You're wide open, Sasuke yelled. He appeared just behind Naruto to slice the blonde's head off with his sword. Just at the last minute, the blonde raised a kunai to block his friend's attack. He pushed the sword away with all his might and managed to knock the sword away from his face. The blonde jumped and kicked Sasuke away. The latter was able to block with his forearm, but the force still staggered him back a few steps. Naruto was relentless. He created 4 clones to help with his next attack. One clone kicked Sasuke in the stomach. He flew into the air. Another needs Sasuke to raise him higher in the air, but he was able to recover and block the attack. Sasuke was able to block the next attack and swipe at the next clone and the clone after him with the lightning in his hand. Naruto was about to punch Sasuke to send him back to the ground. The young Uchiha discharged lightning from all around his body to paralyze and damage the blonde. It was Sasuke's turn to dish out kicks and punches at the blonde, sending them higher in the air at increasingly greater speeds. When the two were close back the surface of the water, Sasuke twisted in the air and kicked Naruto in the stomach, making him sink down the water. After Sasuke was done, he turned to his own summoning. He saw that Gamabunta was now free of the snake's hold and was being relentlessly chased by the toad. Boss, give me some oil, Naruto said. Then, get the fire ready, Gamabunta said in return. His cheeks puffed and then he sprayed a continuous stream of oil at the monster. At the same time, Naruto weaved through his hand signs and blew fire at the stream of oil. Kaiten, Gamayu Enden. The two of them shouted. The burning toad oil engulfed the giant snake. Screams of pain could be heard from inside the vortex of fire. It had no choice but to dispel, although not unscathed. When the two jutsu users let up on their attack, nothing else was left in the wake. That deceptive piece of shit, Sasuke grit his teeth. It turns out all the Naruto he fought earlier, including the one he sank under the ocean, were all clones. The blonde was somehow able to trick him. His right hand crackled with electricity when he heard the familiar swirl of chakra from the original. The two charged at each other. Rasengan. Chidori. The attacks exploded on each other, blasting the casters in opposite direction. Naruto hit the water hard with his back and everything went black. In an unknown house, Naruto woke up in another room he didn't recognize. The blonde looked around the room. In one corner, there was a bow and a quiver of arrows. He rubbed his head, and then pinched himself to see if he was dreaming. This is becoming a habit, Naruto joked to himself. Where am I? I see you're awake, a woman entering the room said. I'm surprised you heal so quickly. The woman had bronze arms and long golden hair that zigzagged down her back in an elaborate ladder weave. Her skin glowed against her white sundress. I don't mean to be rude, but who are you? Naruto asked with a confused expression on his face. Oh Naruto, I am sure you have read about me. I am family after all. The woman giggled. Naruto tilted his head in thought. Naruto dug deep into his mind, back at the time he was brought into this world. Mom made me read all those books, but they didn't really have accurate portraits of the mythological world. Naruto stated. I see your point, the lady said, so she decided to introduce herself. I am Leto. Grandma Leto. Naruto said. Yes, Naruto, Leto smiled. It's nice to finally meet you. Naruto rushed over to hug the lady. Leto was surprised, but she still returned the blonde's hug. I thought I'd have to wait longer to meet my family. Naruto said. So, Artemis didn't see you yet, did she? Naruto shook his head. Oh, that Artemis, Leto said. She's probably busy doing her duties to Olympus. You have to understand Naruto. She doesn't have time to visit even you, Grandma. Naruto frowned. No, Naruto, replied the Titan sadly. That's so sad. Naruto's voice trailed off. I've gotten used to it over the millennia. The humans have forgotten about me too after the gods have risen to power. Now, we peaceful Titans are living among humans without you knowing. I know what loneliness feels like. It shouldn't be something one should get used to. Well, what can you do? Anyway, how long was I out? You've been out for a day. I'm surprised you could still fight your friend after almost being crushed by the Kraken. Naruto winced. He tried to move his body. His bones may have healed, but the pain was still there. You saw that? Naruto asked. Leto nodded. By now, the whole mythological world is aware of you after your battle. That is no simple feat after all. That was a tough one, I'll give him that. Naruto scratched the back of his head. Not to mention, the monster caught me off guard when I was fighting Sasuke. He is a hard monster to fight indeed. You are the first demigod in millennia to defeat it. Really? Cool. That is one massive understatement, Naruto. Yeah, I am at a loss of words myself. The two had fun talking with each other. Naruto told Leto about his childhood and his life in the Hidden Leaf. In the middle of the conversation, Naruto's stomach grumbled, making him laugh sheepishly. Leto laughed along with him. She snapped her fingers, a platter of sandwiches appeared in front of them. I don't suppose you do ramen, do you? Naruto asked. Of course Naruto, my bad. Leto apologized and she made a bowl of ramen appear. Naruto ate a lot of. He didn't even notice how hungry he was when he finished eating. While they ate, their conversation continued, but as usual, all good things have to come to an end. It was nice to meet you, Grandma Leto, but how soon can I leave? Naruto asked the Titan. A look of pain flashed over Leto's face, but she forced a smile. Oh Naruto, I know that you have a quest to complete. You can leave as soon as you have recovered, she said. Naruto jumped up and stretched the kinks out of his system. I guess you weren't kidding when you said you were a fast healer. Leto commented. Normally, those of your kind would take more than a day to heal from those wounds of yours. Well, you know, my tenant helps in that department. Naruto said while scratching the back of his head. So, I've heard, the Titan said. Wait, how do I get back? I will take care of that. Leto was about to snap her fingers to send Naruto back, but the blonde stopped her. Wait, Grandma, what about you? He said. Well, I'll stay here and live in peace as I have been doing. Leto answered. But, you'll be all alone again. I'll be fine, my boy. I mean I have survived all these millennia, how hard could another millennium be? Naruto didn't sound convinced. He, then, had an idea and he dug into his pouch. I have been working on these with Annabeth back in Virginia, Naruto said as he produced a silver and bronze kunai. Though, I was only able to make one. What's this? Leto asked. It's a kunai with a special seal. Once I master my dad's jutsu, I will be able to come and visit. The blonde explained. Oh, Naruto, you don't have to. Humans can be forgetful just as the gods can. Leto waved him off. Well, I'm different, Grandma Leto. Once I give my word, I will fulfill it no matter what. Oh, all right. Come on then, you have a quest to finish. Yeah, have to save camp again. Leto smiled. She snapped her fingers and Naruto disappeared. Back at the Sea of Monsters. When Naruto came to, he was on a boat big enough to fit 3 people. He had a backpack on his back filled with a change of clothes and some supplies. It hadn't been long since he got teleported back to the quest. Though, he told himself that he needed to get used to the teleporting thing when he masters his dad's jutsu. So there he was, sailing the open seas. He had clones out to help him helm the small ship. Thankfully, there were no storm clouds or monsters in sight. The blonde noted to himself not to say this out loud, lest he would face the curse Percy had placed them in back in their first quest. Thank God for his wind manipulation to speed up his traveling. For miles, there was nothing but water and the occasional sea creature. He made sure to ask if the creatures had seen something unusual in the waters. The only responses he got were a burning building coming from a direction the creatures pointed. He decided to go on the lead. After a few more miles of traveling, he spotted a lone brown rowboat floating aimlessly in the water. He decided to check it out. From afar, the boat looked like there were no passengers. When he got closer, he saw a boy maybe a year or two older than himself. He had golden brown and tanned skin like Annabeth's. The body was covered in wounds and was unusually thin. Naruto checked his pulse. He couldn't feel anything. The boy was dead. What is Child of Athena doing here awfully far from home? Naruto asked himself. The blonde inspected further. He saw that the boy was clutching something in his palm. He pried it open. Once it was open, he saw a coin. It had the symbol of an owl on it, the symbol of Athena. Naruto didn't know what to make of it, so he pocketed the coin. He sealed the demigod in one of his empty scrolls so he could bring home the body for a proper burial back at camp once the quest is over. He continued on his way. A few minutes later, he could see plumes of black smoke rising from afar. That must be what that dolphin was talking about. Naruto wondered aloud. Guys, let's go towards the smoke. He ordered his clones. Yes, sir. The clones answered in unison. The origins of the smoke soon became visible to the one-man crew of the boat. There, one of the clones shouted as he spotted an island. Right, the others replied. I hope you guys are okay, Naruto muttered. It was a lone island in the middle of nowhere. It looked like a resort of some kind, except it was in flames and there was chaos everywhere. Just then, a scream came from inside the resort. Leto gazed over the window overlooking the ocean. She had just sent Naruto on his way with her power. Just then, thunder rumbled around her. Why, am I bound by the laws that you gods have to follow? Leto said aloud. Thunder boomed even louder. Yeah, she waved the thunder off. It's bad enough I have to stay in exile all by myself. More thunder came. Oh, put a sock in it, Zeus. I don't have to follow your stupid rules. I am free to do anything I want. Leto's argument with the thunderclap continued. The god of the sky stopped. Maybe Poseidon had made him see sense. Yeah, like that could happen. Or maybe Hera had found out who Zeus was trying to send the message to. Either way, Leto was left alone by herself in her usual peace and quiet. Leto sighed. Gods. She returned her gaze back to the ocean. Be careful, my boy. CC's Spa and Resort. Naruto's perception of spas and resorts was a relaxing time away from all the stress and worry, even just for a little while. He should know, he, himself, loved going to places like this. Though, right in front of him was pure and utter chaos. All around them, the docks and buildings were on fire. Pirates were chasing ladies around and pillaging any loot they can get their hands on. To add to that, Naruto could sense traces of Naruto and Annabeth on this island. A tick mark was forming on Naruto's forehead. I have a good guess on who caused this mayhem. Naruto said aloud. He raised his arms to form a cross in front of his chest with his fingers. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. He yelled. Puffs of smoke appeared right behind him. Another round of clones came to existence. Spread out and take care of this stupid pirates. Naruto ordered. Hi. The clones answered and everyone, including the original, headed out. The original made his way through the chaos which were taken care of by his army of clones. He came across one of the pirates stalking over one of the women like she was his prey. The first thing Naruto noticed about this pirate was the aura of a demigod. No, scrap that. The first thing he noticed was the huge mop of black beard on his face. Let me guess, Blackbeard the pirate. I didn't figure you for a man who takes vacations. Naruto said, stopping the pirate from what he was doing. Yeah. The name's Edward, son of Ares. I'm surprised you've heard of me even though I was stuck on this here island. Blackbeard said. Well, your exploits weren't what you call subtle, Naruto answered. Turn away now, kid, and let me get a taste of this flesh. Blackbeard licked his lips as he eyed the woman's supple form. Or else, I'll turn you into chopped lettuce. What? Curse that sorceress. I've been a guinea pig for far too long. Guinea pig. That's a long story, boy. I suggest you turn away, right this instant and leave me be. I can't let you do that. You better step away from the young lady or I'll turn you into chopped lettuce. You don't look like much. Do your words even hold any merit? Why should you care? You don't seem like much yourself. Quote. Blackbeard turned to face the blonde. He brandished his big sword. Fool, you don't know who you're dealing with. I am Edward Teach, son of Ares. Blackbeard boasted. Naruto waved off his boast and gave out a boast of his own. Big deal, I went toe-to-toe with your dad just last year. Why you little? The pirate was the one who made the first move. He lunged forward for a stab. The blonde cocked his head to the right to avoid the pointed end, and then he grabbed the pirate's wrist. I don't need jutsu to finish you off, Naruto said. What are you? Blackbeard said with a confused look on his face. Naruto didn't answer. Instead, he twisted the pirate's wrist. A cracking sound could be heard, earning a scream from the owner. The blonde pulled the pirate towards himself, and then he raised his knee and planted it on the bearded man's gut. The attack raised him a few inches from the ground. Naruto let him go and planted a roundhouse kick on the pirate, sending him flying towards the wall. Being that they were made of wood, the pirate went through the wall and into the ocean. Naruto turned to the lady, watching him in awe. That was close. Naruto offered a hand to help her up. Glad I made it in time. Thank you. The lady blushed at the blonde's actions. Who are you? The name's Naruto. Pleased to meet you. The said blonde introduced himself. The lady's eyes lit up. You're him. You're the son of Artemis, the one from a whole different world. Wait, you know me. Yes. Word of you has spread all around the godly world ever since your victories over the mother of monsters and the god of war last year. Even your victory over the greatest sea monster has reached us here, though it was only recently. My mistress, Circe, was even impressed by you. Gee, thanks. Wait a minute, did you say Circe? The lady nodded. Yes I did. As in the immortal daughter of Hecate and the one Odysseus met during his long trip home. The one who turns men into pigs. Naruto looked around. The blonde didn't fancy being turned into a pig right now. He still had a quest to finish and friends to find. The very same. This resort belongs to her, you know, but we don't turn the men into pigs anymore. She leaned over to whisper to the blonde's ear. We would have problems about sewage, and the stench would make it hard to relax. She returned to her position and continued in her normal voice. So, men who across the island are turned into guinea pigs, while the women are given a life of luxury and are bound to this island. So that's what Blackbeard was talking about, Naruto said, and then he raised his finger to his cheek and scratched it. Say, I don't suppose your mistress is here, is she? The lady shook her head. No, she disappeared after the boy and the girl caused that ruckus and released our prisoners. Naruto widened his eyes. Is the boy black-haired and has sea green eyes, and the girl blonde with gray eyes? I didn't really see the boy. He was already turned into a guinea pig by then. But, I did see the girl and she was exactly how you described. I knew it. Are they friends of yours? I'm sorry my friends caused this. You and the other girls call this place your home and they wrecked it. Tears began falling from the girl's eyes. We have to find a new place to live in now. Naruto patted her on the head. There, everything will be alright. My clones are rounding up all the survivors on the island. Really? Of course. The girl wiped the tears from her eyes and jumped the blonde, wrapping him in a hug. Naruto was surprised at first, but he returned the hug and stroked the girl's head. Why do I get the feeling like someone would get jealous about this? Naruto thought to himself. You know, for a girl who lived in an island where boys are turned into guinea pigs, you certainly do not mind giving a hug to one. The girl's eyes realized this and quickly unwrapped Naruto, revealing a tomato-red face. Naruto chuckled at that. Oh, how rude of me, the girl said, getting back her composure. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Reina. Pleased to meet you. Naruto shook her hand. The clothes on the girl were slowly falling off now, so the girl struggled to keep them on. Naruto averted his gaze in respect to the girl. I almost forgot that good-for-nothing pirate almost tore off my clothes. Reina squeaked. Naruto dug into his pouch, and he produced a scroll. He unrolled the scroll, and then focused chakra onto the seal written in the scroll. With a puff of smoke, A clean set of clothes appeared on his hand, much to the amazement of the girl. Here, the blonde handed them to Reina. I do hope they would fit you. Naruto turned around to allow some privacy for the girl to change. A few minutes later, the girl was done. I'm done. You can look now. Naruto turned around to look at the girl. She was wearing Naruto's favorite orange shirt from camp, which was a little too big for her. The pants were falling off, but she remedied them with a makeshift belt. Sorry, I guess they're too big for you. Naruto apologized. Don't worry about it. At least it's covering me up. Reina replied. That's a relief. My clones are probably done rounding up the others. The blonde continued. Come on, let's go meet them. Naruto didn't let go of the Reina's hand along the way as he led her towards the others. When they got there, one of the other girls noticed Naruto and Reina heading their way and ran towards them. Reina noticed the girl running towards them. She let go of Naruto's hand and ran toward the girl running towards them. Reina. The other girl yelled as she ran towards them. Hiller. Reina called back. Reina broke away from Naruto and ran towards the girl. The two shared an embrace when they got next to each other. I thought I'd lost you. Hiller said aloud as she caressed Reina's hair. The two girls broke their embrace and faced the blonde. Hiller bowed her head. I thank you for coming to our aid. Naruto waved her off. Oh, it's nothing. It's the least I can do after my friends caused you all this carnage. You'll never guess who this is, Hiller. Reina cut in. Yes, I know. His clone told us about it. Hiller said. Reina puffed her cheeks. You're no fun. I couldn't have stopped all the pirates by myself, you know. Naruto said. Although, since I used the cage bunshin, you could say I still did it by myself. He mumbled that last part to himself. What? The two girls asked together. Oh, it's nothing. I was just musing to myself. Naruto scratched the back of his head like he always did. The two girls looked at each other, and then shrugged. Anyway, Naruto changed the subject. Let's get you girls out of here. The three joined the other girls in the resort's courtyard. So did I get to everyone on time? Naruto asked the rest of the girls. There were nods from the girls gathered and shouts of praises and thank yous. Naruto thought to himself, the small sailing vessel he came on the island wouldn't fit on it. Not to mention that it wouldn't survive Charybdis and Scylla when they get out of the Sea of Monsters. An idea popped up in Naruto's head. Quick question, Naruto asked. Do any of you want to join my mom's hunt? Murmurs could be heard from the girls gathered. Most of them still wanted to have love lives of their own. Some even eyed the blonde like he was the one they wanted a relationship with. In the end, only 5 of them stepped forward. I know it's not my place to invite you to join, but once you get to my mother's camp, you can tell her your intentions. Naruto explained. So, just give me a sec to call out for my mother. Naruto closed his eyes in prayer. He called out to his mother in his mind. For a moment there, Naruto thought that nobody would answer him. Just then, a bright light appeared beside the blonde. The blonde's face lit up once he sensed the new presence arriving at the scene. A middle-aged man with a muscular, athletic figure appeared in the vicinity. The man had salt and pepper hair, blue eyes, elfish features that he had seen back at a particular cabin at camp. There was a sly grin plastered on her face, like he was up to something. He was wearing nylon shorts and a New York Marathon shirt. He was checking messages on a watch he had on his left hand. Naruto's expression dropped when he saw who appeared. The man looked up and saw Naruto's crestfallen expression. Sorry, kid. Just a messenger this time. The man said. It's okay, Lord Hermes. It's not your fault. Just thought that Mom would come this time since it was the girls we are talking about. Naruto told the god. Your mother is probably out hunting as usual. She's never around Olympus whenever I'm there. Hermes answered. But your jobs as gods keep you away all of the time too. Naruto sighed. Right, Hermes chuckled. Anyway, you need to transport these young ladies to your mother's camp, yes? Yes please, Lord Hermes. Alrighty then. Hermes was about to snap his fingers when Reina called out. Wait, Reina yelled. I didn't get to properly thank you for helping us. Grumbles could be heard from the crowd. They were mostly berating themselves for not speaking up like she did. Oh, that's okay. I'm not looking for anything in return. Naruto said. No, that won't do. I guess I'll have to owe you a favor. But this will do for now. Reina said, and then she leaned over to kiss the blonde on the cheek. Naruto blushed bright red at her actions. Jealous glares were sent to Reina because of what she did. The blonde was in a daze for a while, but he remembered that he still had to track down his friends. Say, I don't suppose you saw where the two dunderheads went, did you? Naruto asked. Oh, your friends. No, sorry, Reina answered. Oh, you mean the two who caused this whole mess? A random girl asked from the crowd. Yes, why don't I come with you and show you where they went? The girl said seductively. Oh no you don't, Kinsey, the other girls pulled her back. You can just point at the direction they went. It's bad enough that Reina got to make a move on him. Another girl said. PFT, fine. Kinsey said. They were headed over in that direction. They took the Queen Anne's revenge, I think. Thank you for that, Naruto said. Okay, that's enough, lover boy. Hermes said. You've made me miss one appointment. Let's get these girls to your mother's camp. Thank you again. All of the girls said. I'll see you around. Naruto bid them farewell with a small salute. And say hi to my mom when you get there. Hermes snapped his fingers and the girls started to glow brightly. Don't forget, I owe you one, whenever we see each other again. And be careful of the siren's lair. The light engulfed the ladies and soon they were gone. I best be on my way, son of Artemis, before more appointments get cancelled. Hermes started to take his leave. Naruto bowed. Thank you for your assistance, Lord Hermes. It was my pleasure. The messenger god then continued his jog and soon disappeared in the next room. It was night time now. The stars were visible in the night sky now that they were far away from what you call modern civilization. Although, he was still bummed that he didn't see his mom when the ladies at the resort needed some transport, so he wasn't in the mood to look for constellations. The moonlight glowed brightly as he sailed through the waters of the Sea of Monsters, like a silent apology from the moon goddess for not seeing her son at this moment. The original kept watch for any sign of his friend even at night. He traveled the same direction that Kinsey had seen her friends head towards. In the darkness of the night, the flames from what Naruto assumed was a forge could be seen lighting up the night even from a considerable distance. If that is what I think it is, Annabeth would avoid that one, but at what direction? Naruto said to no one in particular. How about we try this way? One of his clones suggested, pointing away from the forge. Sure, why no, Naruto said, but let out a huge yawn. You must be tired. Another one of the clones said. Yeah, you've got us to count on, Databio. Yet another said. I guess you're right. The original Naruto answered. Thanks guys. Don't mention it. That's why you got us. Leave it to us. Those were the answers his clones said to him as he curled up in the corner to go to sleep. Little did he know, Morpheus had something to show him as he rested. Dreamscape. When Naruto came to, he was in yet another room that he didn't recognize. It was a stateroom that seemed to be aboard some kind of ship. He could feel the vessel slowly sailing through ocean waters. Geez, what is with me waking up in rooms I never seen before? Naruto said to himself. He examined the room. It was dark, but a golden sarcophagus glowed inside the room. In the wall behind it, the wall was painted purple and a fairly large golden triangle was plastered in the middle. Suddenly, cold laughter could be heard coming from miles below. The ship echoed through the whole room. Join me, son of Artemis. Help me overthrow the gods and I will give you redemption for the quest you failed back in your home world. Naruto knew full well who was coaxing him. He was about to answer, but wind swirled around him and a new familiar voice called out behind him. Naruto, over here. The voice called out in the language of the elemental nations. Naruto turned around. Right there was his old team. Sakura was waving at him with another hand to her mouth calling out to him. Sasuke was there with his hands in his pockets. HMMP, aren't you the one always excited for missions? The Uchiha said. Another voice spoke from behind him. Sorry I'm late everyone. I got lost in the path of life. It was Kakashi, their team captain. Isn't this what you wanted? For your friend to go back home to the village you call home. For everything to go back the way they used to be. The voice willed the scenery to continue. You're late again, Kakashi-sensei. Sakura scolded their mentor. Lord Fourth will be mad at us when we get there. Lord Fourth? Naruto asked in confusion. Dad. Yes, boy. I can give you the life that you have always dreamed of. The family you've been longing ever since your childhood. The scenery shifted. They were now standing the Hokage's office. Sitting on the Hokage's chair was a different person. He looked like Naruto, except without the silver streaks on the hair. He was wearing a standard Konoha uniform and a flak jacket over it. Over his current attire, he was wearing a white short-sleeved long kauri closed in the front with a thin orange rope. The kauri was decorated with flame-like patterns on the edges and the kanji si daimyu huo ying, read as Yondaime Hokage or Fourth Hokage in English, written vertically down the back. Naruto, I know you're excited as usual to go on this mission, but you have to focus and work with your team. The Fourth Hokage reminded Naruto. Quote. Dad. Naruto managed to stutter out. Naruto, are you listening? The Fourth Hokage asked again. Naruto opened his mouth to answer, but someone knocked on the door. Minato, can I come in? A female voice said from the other side. Oh, yes, come on in, Minato said. The door creaked open, revealing the owner of the voice. The voice came from a slender, fair woman with fiery red hair that reached up to her waist. She wore a high-collared, sleeveless blouse under a long, green, loose-fitting dress with a wristband on her left wrist and standard shinobi sandals on her feet. She carried 2 bento lunches wrapped in a handkerchief. Mom, Naruto managed to blurt out. Oh, Kushina, what brings you here? Minato asked. The others in the room, save for Naruto, bowed to the newcomer and said, Kushina-sama. You two were so eager to get out of the house that you forgot your lunches. Kushina explained. It was a good thing I was able to catch up with you, Naruto. Minato scratched the back of his head just like Naruto does. Oh right, thank you. The creepy voice willed the scene to pause at this moment. The life you never had the chance to live. I can give it you if you join me. Help me destroy the gods. Naruto walked up to the image of his friends and family. Naruto, it's time to wake up. Another voice spoke to Naruto's ear. It was calming and comforting. Way different from the creepy voice that was coaxing him to join his side. End of dream. Naruto bolted upright. It was morning already. The boat was now empty. All his clones were gone. There was something stuck to his ears somehow that obstructed his hearing. Naruto looked around. A few miles away, he saw something that looked like a pirate ship. That must be Blackbeard's ship, Naruto said to himself. He steered his boat towards the pirate ship. His eyes never left the Queen Anne's Revenge as his own vessel drew closer. What he saw next made him understand why his hearing was obstructed. A girl jumped from the pirate ship. No doubt it was Annabeth. She was swimming towards a misty island surrounded by jagged rocks and debris of sunken ships. He instantly knew Annabeth was in danger. Oh shit, Naruto blurted out as he jumped overboard and ran towards his friend. It was another day in the camp of the Hunters of Artemis. The huntress returned to her camp dejected after Zeus had forbidden her to go and give aid to her son. She didn't say a word when she returned home from Olympus. Instead, she just entered her tent to gather some supplies then went out to hunt. Artemis routinely checked for news regarding her son's fate. No word has arrived ever since she came back from Olympus. It was then, at around sundown, while she was in the middle of her hunt, that the confirmation of her son's survival arrived. It came in the form of a prayer. She heard it loud and clear. It was the distinct voice of her son calling out to her for assistance. Mom, I need some help transporting these ladies I found back to the mainland. Her son's voice spoke in her mind. Also, I believe I have some new recruits for you, Mom. She was thrilled to learn of this, but she also felt annoyed that she cannot leave her duties unattended. So, she called for the god's messenger and asked him a favor. She asked him to go in her stead. A few minutes later, she felt foreign energy coming from the direction of their camp. Hermes must have already finished picking them up. She noticed that there was something different about this group. Her form flickered for a moment. Her silver tunic changed into silver camouflage clothing, and her face became more serious and regal. The 2 hunters she brought with her on the trip noticed this, so they rushed to her side. Are you okay, milady? They both asked. She put on a smile for her hunters. I'm fine, girls. You don't have to worry about me. So, some of them are from that camp, she thought. The hunters' camp, somewhere in the wilderness. A bright flash of light appeared in the middle of the camp. A fairly large group of ladies appeared as soon as the light died down. This caught the attention of the other hunters, even those who were busy. It was Artemis Lieutenant who first approached to greet the group. Welcome to our camp, she said. I suppose all of you are new recruits. A small group broke off from the main group. One of the girls in the smaller group answered for all of them, "No, ma'am. Only us." The lieutenant gave out a light frown. She thought that all of the girls who arrived were going to join. Then, looked at all of the girls, then smiled, "No matter. All of you are welcome to join us for dinner once Lady Artemis arrives. In the meantime, who wants some hot chocolate?" Lair of the Sirens, Sea of Monsters. A blonde-haired girl, Annabeth, was swimming towards some jagged rock covered with mist. She was a strong swimmer despite the currents, mines and rocks. She was almost to the black beach to where the real danger was, provided that you survived the obstacles. Naruto was running on water towards the girl to save her. When he got close to Annabeth, the mist cleared and he saw them. From the neck down, the monsters he saw were akin to a flock of vultures, except they were human-sized. They had dirty black plumage, gray talons, and wrinkled pink necks. The heads, though, were human heads that kept changing. Their heads morphed. They turned into the faces of people that the blonde knew. They showed him the faces of people he knew, from the faces of his friends back in the elemental nations to his new loved ones on Earth. But no matter what face was shown to him, their mouths were bloody and greasy, caked with the remnants of the previous meal. He shook this off. He couldn't let his friend make it to the beach. As fast as he could, he ran with all his might towards Annabeth, and then grabbed her. She wasn't too thrilled about this. She didn't even acknowledge Naruto. Instead, she squirmed and struggled to break free of Naruto's hold. Naruto was in another trance. The moment he touched Annabeth, a shock went through his body. At that moment, he saw the way his friend was seeing them. 3 people sat on a picnic blanket in Central Park. A feast was spread out before them. He immediately recognized Frederick Chase, exactly how he saw him back in Virginia. He was holding hands with a beautiful woman who looked a lot like Annabeth. She was dressed casually, in blue jeans and a denim shirt and hiking boots. Naruto knew she wasn't human because she radiated power. "I knew that I was looking at the goddess Athena." Next to them sat a young man. There was no mistaking it. Naruto would recognize that face anywhere. It was Luke. The whole scene glowed in a warm, buttery light. The 3 of them were talking and laughing, and when they saw Annabeth, their faces lit up with delight. Athena and Frederick held out their arms inviting the girl to come to them. Luke grinned and gestured for Annabeth to sit next to him, as if he'd never betrayed her, as if he was still her friend. Behind the trees of Central Park, a city skyline rose. Naruto was breathtaking even more than when he first came into this world. He was amazed at what he had seen. The buildings were rebuilt into dazzling white marble, bigger and grander than ever, with golden windows and rooftop gardens. It was like they were modeled after Olympus itself. Naruto could make a guess at who designed the place. It was better than New York. Better than even Mount Olympus. It was Annabeth's dream. She had done everything that she had wanted to do, and everything she wanted to happen happened. The shinobi was brought out of his vision by a punch in the face from the daughter of Athena. Apparently, the vision had disrupted Naruto's chakra flow, so even he was now partially submerged underwater. Coincidentally, the punch in the face startled Naruto, making her let go of his friend. Annabeth was already on the beach. The sirens were licking their lips ready for another meal, but Naruto, being a party pooper for the monsters, scrambled to grab his friend again and save her from being another meal for them. After that, he dove underwater with Annabeth in his clutches, the place he knew the song wouldn't reach. They made it to about 10 feet underwater. Their feet were touching the ocean floor. For a moment, Annabeth was confused. Her eyes widened when she saw who was with her. It was Naruto. She punched Naruto as best as she can underwater. Naruto didn't complain. He knew it was his fault. Annabeth quickly wrapped Naruto in a hug. They stayed like that for a few seconds. But their problems weren't over yet. Annabeth was now running out of air. Unlike Naruto, she wasn't able to ready herself for the deep dive. Naruto noticed this. So, while still wrapped in the embrace, Naruto shot out of the water with Annabeth in his clutches. As soon as they left the water, Annabeth was once again in a trance. Naruto held her tightly so he wouldn't let go anymore. They both landed on the Queen Anne's Revenge. A dazed Percy was lying on the deck of the ship looking at the clouds. But he wasn't dazed because of the siren's song. It seemed like he was in deep thought. Naruto and Annabeth's arrival startled him. He sat up to see who the newcomers were. Naruto yelled, "Go!" Percy was able to read his lips, thank the gods, so he willed the ropes of the ship to hoist the sails and the currents of the ocean to steer the ship away from the island. Naruto held onto Annabeth. She was coughing and squirming as they made their way away from the siren's lair. They sailed until the island was out of sight. Eventually, Annabeth calmed down. Naruto took that moment to remove the foreign substance that was stuck to his ears. Percy decided to do the same. I gotta thank my clones for this later, Naruto thought. Naruto faced Annabeth. So, what's this about swimming to the island of the sirens? He asked. You were awfully close from being eaten. I'm sorry, I just wanted to hear their song. It was supposed to make you wiser. She explained. Quote. She glared at Percy. Besides, I trusted Percy to guard me. Turns out he didn't take away my knife. How was I supposed to know that you were going to cut yourself free? Percy explained himself. I mean, I tied you up really tight. That's enough. Naruto stopped their argument. That was stupid for both of you. Annabeth stood up and punched Naruto on the shoulder. I could say the same for you, Naruto. Taking on the Kraken all on your own. Yeah, man. Percy interjected. We thought you were dead. I thought you were dead when the CSS Birmingham exploded, Naruto said. Annabeth shook her head. We were able to get to the lifeboats in time. What about Clarice and Tyson? Where'd they end up to? The blonde shinobi inquired. Clarice was able to get on a boat, but we got separated. And Tyson? Percy couldn't bring himself to tell Naruto what happened. Annabeth continued for him. He was still below deck when the ship exploded. We don't know if he survived or not. He'll hold out fine. Naruto reassured his best friend. How could you be so sure? Percy asked. He's a Cyclops. He's immune to fire, Naruto explained. Even with an explosion that big. The son of Poseidon still wasn't convinced. Percy, the godly world shouldn't surprise you by now, the blonde explained further. He, then, changed the subject. I guess we could call it quits now. Percy and Annabeth looked at him oddly. We all did something stupid, he continued. Naruto and Annabeth broke out in laughter. Percy smiled, still bummed out that he had to think about Tyson again, but he eventually gave in and laughed with his friends. In any case, how are you feeling? Percy asked his friend who he almost allowed to swim to her death. Even to him, that sounded like a stupid question. Annabeth nodded. I've been better, but I'll be fine. I didn't realize how powerful their temptation would be. That was an awesome design of Manhattan, Naruto commented. Annabeth blushed. You saw that? Yeah, we kinda shared the vision, a while back, he explained. So, Luke's words really got to you, huh? Percy said. What did he say? Naruto asked. I forgot you weren't with us back then, Percy said. Luke told Annabeth that she could build the world from scratch, or something like that. It's my fatal flaw. The sirens showed me that. My fatal flaw is hubris, Annabeth explained. That brown stuff they add on veggie sandwiches, Percy asked as clueless as ever. The two blondes sighed out loud. It's hubris, Percy. What you're talking about is hummus, Naruto explained. You must be hungry, Percy. It means deadly pride, seaweed brain. Thinking you can do things better than anyone else, even the gods. You really feel that way? Percy asked. Annabeth averted her gaze, but she still explained it to her friends, especially to Percy. Do you ever feel like you could do a better job of running the world? Or like, you could do a better job of building this world? A world with no more war, no more homeless, no more homework, no more nine tails. No more homework, that's a nice proposition, Percy commented. Yeah, that would be nice, Naruto said. But, running the world? Percy shook his head. No, the world would be a nightmare if I ruled. Then, you're lucky. Hubris isn't your fatal flaw, Annabeth said. I wouldn't say lucky, Annabeth. He would still have one, and it would still be fatal if you don't know how to control it, Naruto corrected. So, what is my fatal flaw? Percy asked. Who knows, I guess we'll have to see in the future, Naruto said. And once you know what it is, you better learn how to control it, Annabeth added. If you don't, well. Percy gulped. Just then, the son of Poseidon's nautical senses kicked in. He perked up and looked towards one direction of the ship. What's up? Naruto asked. We're close, was Percy's answer. He, then, raised his finger to point to the direction he was looking at. His friends followed his gaze. They saw a blotch of land. From afar, it didn't look like much. As they got closer, they got a better view of what the island looked like. It was a saddle-shaped island with forested hills, white sand beaches, and green meadows. You're right, Naruto confirmed. I sense some kind of power on the island. The Cyclops Island. 30 degrees 31 minutes north, 75 degrees 12 minutes west. It doesn't look like anything I thought it would, Percy said as their ship parked on the island's beach. What did you expect? Jagged rocks and bones, Naruto joked. Or maybe, a tank of acid. Actually, yes, Percy said. I mean, the show and movies show villains' lairs like that. Look at the Siren's Island. Percy, those are fiction. Naruto deadpanned. And the other island didn't have the magic of the fleece like this one. Yeah, fiction. It's not like a year I was told that the gods and monsters were not works of fiction. Boys, that's enough, Annabeth scolded. We still have a fleece to find. Just a quick question, what happens to the island when we take away the fleece? It'll fade. Go back to the way it used to be. Percy frowned. He felt guilty about ruining the paradise that they have found here. Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder. Percy, we don't have a choice. If we don't take it. I know, Percy said. Let's go get that fleece. Right, Naruto and Annabeth answered. They walked down the beach. There was nothing to see as they walked through the beach. Well, that was true, until they saw the other lifeboat from the CSS Birmingham. Hey Percy, Annabeth said. Isn't this? It can't be, Percy answered. It must be Clarice's boat, but how did she get here on her own? Annabeth said. Let's keep looking, Naruto decided. We're bound to find them somewhere on the island. They kept walking. They made it into a meadow at the base of the island's ravine. There were several dozen sheep milling around and grazing around the grass. There was a path that led up a hill and to a massive oak tree, the same one that was shown to Naruto and Percy in the dreams. There was something gold glistening hanging from one of the tree's branches. This easier than I thought, Percy said. Come on. We can just go up there and take it. One would think that walking up to their prize would be a walk in the park like what our favorite son of Poseidon was thinking. What harm could the sheep cause our heroes? Well, that is in normal circumstances. Wait, Naruto warned his friend. Just as the shinobi uttered his warning, a deer emerged from the bushes. This animal was probably looking for some grass to eat. If you could read the deer's mind, you would see its life flash before its eyes as the sheep rushed the poor animal. Grass and tufts of fur flew into the air. A second later, the sheep all moved back to their peaceful wandering. Where the deer was recently standing now lay a pile of clean white bone. So, there goes that idea, Percy said. They're like piranhas, Annabeth commented. Woolly piranhas, Naruto corrected. What are we gonna do now? Percy complained. I could sneak up the path with my cap, Annabeth suggested. They probably have a strong sense smell, Naruto shot down her idea. They'd probably sniff you out even though you're invisible. Besides, we still have to find Grover, Percy added. You're right, Annabeth relented. But, how will we get to Grover? Remember those cliffs we saw back there? Percy suggested. Percy, you can barely climb the lava wall, Naruto teased. Shut up, Naruto, Percy scolded his friend. It's not like we have much of a choice. He's right, Naruto, Annabeth sided with Percy. For once, the blonde shinobi cut in. Annabeth and Percy glared at the blonde. Naruto raised his hands and gave in. Sorry. I'll stop now. Anyway, might I suggest that we attack this plan at two fronts? What do you mean? Percy asked. One party will go and save Grover, while another party will go get the fleece. Naruto suggested. But how? We can't get past the sheep. Percy asked. Yeah, and we need all the help we can get when we go and save Grover. Annabeth added. I'll find my way, and remember I have this. Naruto created a clone with his signature jutsu. Besides, this jutsu was created for infiltration and recon. Both Naruto said. Well, there's no harm in trying. Percy shrugged. That is actually a good idea. Are you sure you're not related to Athena? Annabeth asked. Naruto shrugged. I don't know. I bet that's his answer if I ask him if he's related to Hermes, too. Annabeth thought. What are we waiting for, then? Naruto said. Let's go. Cliffside of the island. Percy and Annabeth groaned as they strained from the effort of trying to climb the cliffside. Naruto effortlessly climbed up with his chakra control. Show off, Percy groaned as he saw Naruto get past them, while he and Annabeth were still struggling to climb the wall. It had only been a few minutes since Naruto had sent his clone to retrieve the fleece from the other side of the hill, and Percy is regretting his decision of pointing out the cliffside to climb. Seeing Naruto climb up with ease didn't help him at all. For a scary moment, Annabeth's right hand grabbed onto a slippery rock covered in moss which caused her to slip. Fortunately, Percy's face acted as a foothold. Sorry, Annabeth said. "Soke," Percy managed to say even though Annabeth's sneaker was planted on his face. Their problems didn't end there. The ledge her left hand was holding onto broke. She felt weightless as she felt herself peeling from the cliff side. Just like any character in movies when they are close to death, her brief life flashed before her eyes. Her mind went black as she fell to the pointed rocks down below. Only a shrill scream escaped her lips. Percy couldn't help her since he too might fall if he tried. "Naruto," Percy called out to his friend. The blonde shinobi was way ahead of him. When he heard Annabeth's screams, he looked back to see her falling. He immediately created a clone to slingshot himself back down to the water. He landed on the water's surface with the chakra automatically on the soles of his feet. He scaled the rocks the same way he scaled the cliff, and snatched Annabeth in the air as she fell. "That was close," Naruto said. "You okay?" Annabeth opened her eyes. She saw Naruto carrying her bridal style. Their current position didn't matter to the daughter of Athena right now, she didn't even feel flustered at all. What mattered the most right now was that Naruto saved her. "And Naruto," Annabeth managed. Thank you. "No problem. You know, I always got your backs." Their faces were awfully close. They both could the heat coming from each other's skin. They were staring into each other's eyes for a moment, when... "Nice catch, Naruto." Percy brought them back to reality. "But, could I have a little help here too?" The clone Naruto created earlier walked down to Percy. "I'm not carrying you the way my original is carrying Annabeth." Yeah, sure whatever," Percy said. "Could you hurry up, please? My arms are burning." Okay, I got you." The Naruto clone picked him up and firemen carried him up to the top of the cliff. The original Naruto and Annabeth back down the bottom heard all this happen and were laughing at his expense. After a round of laughter, Annabeth said, "We better join him up there." "Yeah," Naruto answered, still getting the laughs out of his system. Annabeth gripped Naruto tighter and snuggled into the shinobi's arms. "Don't ever go fighting things alone again," Annabeth whispered. "I know, Annie, but the Kraken got nothing on me back there," Naruto answered. "I'm serious here, Naruto," Annabeth continued. "I thought your sensei taught you about teamwork." "Yeah, you're right," he relented. "We take the monsters on together next time." A minute later, Naruto made it up the cliff. They saw Percy lying on the ground resting from the climb before the clone helped him. "Now I regret ever suggesting that," Percy said as he sensed his friends make it up the cliff. "Told you so," Naruto said. "You don't have to." Percy was about to retort, but a voice bellowed from inside the cave that was behind them. It was followed by a barking that echoed through the cave. Gah. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.